Hello, Dave.
And how are you feeling?
Well, I'm trying to get over the nervousness.
He's a little nervous, guys. So come on, can we give him a big applause, please? Thank you. Now you have two options. You can stand behind there like a really confident person, or you can stand in here like a shy person like me. Which would you prefer? Whoa, give him a big hand, everyone. Nice to meet you.
Good evening, everyone. So I'll begin by just telling you briefly about my journey. I came to New Zealand 1 year, 8 months ago, and that is exactly how long I have been in NZSE. Now, I remember my first day at NZSE. I was very nervous, I was intimidated, not as much as I am now though. And being an international student, when you're new, it is scary. There is so much of change around you. You're expected to find a new place to live in. Even if you find a decent place, decent flatmates are hard to come by. There is IRD numbers and a new bank account and the new format of the CV, applying for jobs, rejections. The more common things like missing family goes on. So I was nervous on my first day. But that nervousness did not get a chance to last beyond the day. And that was mainly because of the warmth which I received from NZSE. One of the first people I interacted with was Loma. I remember she helped me out with finding a homestay, and she was always so helpful. Whenever she would run into me, she would always, check if I had found something yet or not. There was Linda. I met her first at the reception. She was She had just been married back then. Sorry, Linda. Yeah. So she had just been married back then. We exchanged a few sentences about Tim Burton. Later she would be really kind, let me borrow some of her books. And I can hardly ever recall a time when I walked past her and she did not pass on to me, a part of her cheerful self. And no matter how dull you felt, you would always lighten up a bit. And I can say that about almost everyone at NZSE. They always had something about them which they always passed on to you. One of the things I really like about NZSE is that it gave you the opportunity to be more than just a student who took assessments and went back home. I was part of the student social committee. I worked with Gwen and countless other students, and I worked with Loma as well. So we had a lot of fun organizing events. I remember my first trip to the museum. It was a fun day, and since then I have never missed a single NZSE outing. There are many other people I would love to talk about. There is Lily, Gwen. They have both been really loving. There is Alison, who is really the nicest person. She always gives you extensions. And I have learned many things from her, more than I can mention. And perhaps the most important thing I've learned from her, she may not agree, but it is the meaning of live. I don't know how many of you would know what the meaning of live is. At NZSC, it always felt like one big family. We did things together. The first time I went to the beach, the first time I was out on a boat fishing, the first time I went playing paintball, and those of us who didn't chicken out were returned for a second and third time to play again. We had countless shared lunches, we had parties, and whenever on many occasions I have returned late from parties, and there was always someone there willing to drop you home. Sometimes it was Firoz, sometimes Dipti, sometimes Rajika, always someone there. And they were always so cordial, you never felt alienated. Even tonight I'll be probably asking one of them to drop me. There are tutors who have not taught me yet. I have always wished I could learn from them. Firoz, I was told, had a very good way of explaining things. Andrew, I have presumed, has one of those rare, ineffable qualities. I'll be ending soon. I'll just share a bit of my past. We all have our reasons for desiring change. I left my country. I'll give you my reason. I was already into my third semester at a university in India when I just quit. The reason was, imagine me to be a sapling in a garden pot, and I just did not have enough room to grow. And here I am today speaking, and NZSE for me has been a really wonderful journey. It always gave me the room to grow. It never held me back. And yeah, it's given everything that I could have asked for. Okay, I thought hard on this one. If I have any complaints about NZSE, just one minor complaint, which probably only Dan and Glenn are going to understand. Never found anyone with whom I could enjoy a game of chess.
Hey.
Enjoy.
Okay.
Really the keyword.
Okay.
Thank you, Jimmy. Excuse me, give him a big hand, everyone. That was amazing. That was amazing, Jimmy. Just such a natural up here. I better be careful. I might get replaced before I know it. So Jimmy was representing our international students, and he's a real gem at school. He's one of our lab assistants. And even though he didn't mention anything about the fantastic careers advisor, I know he's going to save that for his next speech. Yeah. Now, guys, we have Eddie.